Okay, cool. Hi, welcome. If we don't know each other, I'm Maria. You need 2 blocks for class today. Leave a comment in this section to let me know you're here. It's been a little chill this summer, so I just want to make sure that someone is here that wants to take class. Otherwise, there's no need to teach. I'm going to fix my mat when I come back. Hi, Erin. Thanks for being here. I'm going to come fix my mat and we'll get started pretty quick. I'm still in Park City. I'm in a slightly different place. We'll be in this space for 1 more week. I apologize that the lighting is not the best, but we will continue in the best way that we can. My AirPods also aren't working right now, or they're not connecting to my computer, so hopefully you can hear me okay. You should be good. Hi, Jill. Nice to have you. Okay, let's get started. Come to your mat and go ahead and take a seat. Let's take a cross-legged seat today. Woo. So I recommend elevating the seat somehow with a block or a pillow with a couch or something like that. And yeah, cross the ankles, just let the hands rest on the lap. And give yourself a moment here just to arrive, just to like land. I taught a class like 2 hours ago, or an hour ago basically. And I was talking about how like it's tough to practice at home and there's like extra distractions, and even if it's just the fact that like you don't have to turn your phone off and put it in the cubby in the back of the yoga studio, or that like maybe people are walking around, or like you can go to the bathroom without disrupting anything. Like there's all these kind of barriers that are there when we're kind of in person with a group that are not there when you're at home. So if you feel like that, I know that I do sometimes. As you close your eyes and kind of arrive onto your mat, see if you can kind of set like a mental or imaginary orb around your mat, kind of the space. And I was talking about it before as almost like our mat is kind of like this magic carpet. And of course, the OG magic carpet was to see the world. This magic carpet, our mat, is actually to not look externally, but to look on the inside. So the inner world is what we're trying to explore whenever we come to our mat, whenever we practice yoga, or when we practice meditation, or just noticing that we're breathing. And today we're working a bit with vulnerability. And so knowing that all of us are kind of going through phases of change. Whether it feels like anything's changing or not, things are always changing. And the more that we can stay open, the more that we can accept vulnerability or be okay with vulnerability, and the more that we can find forgiveness for ourselves, especially, as well as others, is going to make change a little bit more palatable, a little bit easier, for lack of a better term. When we can stay open, we are okay with vulnerability, or we allow vulnerability to play a role in our lives, and we are willing to forgive. Again, willing to forgive ourselves first and foremost is like probably the most important one, and then forgive others. We kind of create this like fertile ground for change to be able to happen without so much restriction. Like most of the time, whenever change feels really hard, it's because we're resisting some element of it. And so just like you would prepare soil to like plant a garden, or for something to grow and to be like cultivated and like do well and prosper, to do the same thing for our internal space and our emotional space and our mental space. So that's kind of what I'm inviting you to think about today, inviting you to consider, and what I'm offering as kind of a little bit of a mental piece of what we will be exploring in a physical manifestation through the asana or the yoga poses. If the eyes are closed, go ahead and let them open. If they're already open, you're good. Come up off your block and place your block at the front of your mat. Find hands and knees to start. So the wrist, right, okay, bring your wrists underneath the shoulders, the hips come underneath the knees, and we're gonna start with some cat-cow. So breathe in and let the belly drop down. There's a little bit of like a pulling back of the hands, and it allows the sternum bone to shine forward. The chin floats or lifts as well. And then on the exhale, press into the tops of the feet, press into the hands, and puff up the back. Let the head go all the way. Just let it fall completely down. Chin will kind of move towards the chest to the belly button. And then again, breathing and belly drops down. Head shines forward, space for the collarbones, chin lifts. Exhale, pressing the tops of the feet. The hands puff up the back. Open and close the mouth. Flutter the lips if it feels good. And then one more with your breath. Try to use the whole breath for the whole movement. This doesn't have to be like a strict cat-cow. Like I tend to always, if cat-cow is the first thing, I'm kind of always doing this like side bend thing too. And I invite you to do the same. Puff up the back of the head ball. Come back to neutral. Tuck your right toes behind you, and then pick up the heel in line with the hip and carry the toes all the way over to the left. So the right leg's gonna cross over the left foot, and then press into the heel a few times. You should feel a little bit of an opening in the outer left hip. Very nice. And then carry it back through center, and then carry the right leg all the way to the right. Set the foot down so that the inner arch of your right foot's in line with your left knee. Breathe in and come to the fingertips. Breathe out, engage the belly, and lift up. See the arms, breathe in. Breathe out, right hand slides down the right leg, left arm reaches up and over, Tadasana, gate pose. Take the gaze over to the left. Breathing in. Yeah, really nice long line of energy on this whole left side. Breathing up. Inhale, come to center. Exhale, bring your right knee down next to the left. Hands can come to the waist. And then step your left foot forward. Yeah, and then shift the hips forward and just fold the torso over the top of the left thigh and hands come to the mat. Let the head go for a moment here. Just opening up the front of the right leg for a moment. Breathing in. Breathing out. Reach forward for your blocks. Take them on the highest setting. Just place the right underneath the shoulders. Bring the foot. Tuck your right toe. Lift your right. Come to the low left. Really press through the arm. So you got lots of space here. And then shift weight a little bit more into the left foot as you take the blocks forward. You're going to find that supported warrior three with the blocks in the hand. Right leg and right foot lift. Breathe in, look forward. Breathe out, right foot steps next to the left and just fold over the leg. Let the hands come onto the floor again. Breathe in and take a half lift. Breathe out, step your left foot back behind you. Low lunge and then drop the left knee down underneath the left hip. Press through the left hand. Right hand's gonna lift up as this right foot steps all the way back towards the back of the mat. Right arm reaches up. You're in a supported side plank. So your left hand, your left knee, left foot are all in line with the inner arch of your right foot. Yeah, and breathe in. Breathe out, lift or float your right leg. That's optional. You don't have to do this part. Breathing in here, and then exhale, another optional moment here. Bend your right knee and catch the foot behind the back with the left hand. Sorry, the right hand. Right hand touches right foot. And then kick the foot into the hand and let the front of the body open. Maybe the gaze comes up towards the ceiling. Breathing in. Breathing out, release, and take everything back to the mat. Inhale for a plank pose. Look forward. Exhale, lower all the way to the belly. Untuck the toes. Take the hands underneath the armpits like you're prepping for cobra pose. On your breath in, lift the head and the chest and pull or lift your right foot and bring the right heel towards the right butt. So use the right hamstring. Lifting the head and the chest any amount, and lifting the right heel any amount. Breathing in. Breathing out lower. We're going to take the other leg up. Inhale, head and chest lift as your left heel lifts towards your left seat. Breathing in. Breathing out, release. Inhale, hands and knees. Exhale, downward facing dog. Hips lift. Pedal up the feet a few times. Shake the head no, open and close the mouth. This time, breathe in and come to plank pose. Stay here, or option to let the hips Dip towards the floor. The sternum shines forward. Come to up dog. Exhale, hips lift, downward facing dog. We're going to do that twice more. Either come to plank or go to all the way to up dog. Breathe in, roll forward, kind of like a wave. Let the hips sink down any amount. Soften the elbows. Exhale, return to down dog. One more time. Breathe in, try to roll forward so you find the cat pose in the back. And then let the hips sink down, lift, so you find the cow. And exhale, downward facing dog. Bring the knees to the mat and then slide the hands back underneath the shoulders. Tuck your left toe behind you. Lift the heel up in line with the hip and then take the toe all the way to the right. Press through the heel a few times. Yeah, just like a few pulses. Yes. And then take it back to center and carry the left leg all the way over to the left. And then, yeah, that inner edge of your left foot's in line with your right knee. Breathe in and come to your fingertips. This will automatically have you activating the core a little bit. You kind of have to compensate. And then use the core more in the exhale, launch up. See the arms, breathe in. Breathe out, left hand slides down the left leg, right arm reaches up and over towards the left. Gaze go to the right. Tadasana gate pose. Breathing and try not to, we want the opening in the right side, but we don't want to just like totally collapse in the left. So stay lifted like you're reaching up and over a beach ball or like one of those exercise balls on the left side. Breathe in, come back. See the arm and take the hands to the waist and then bring your left knee down next to the right. Step your right foot forward and shift the hips forward. Fold the torso on the top of the right leg and take the hands to the mat. Yeah, so kind of a lazy Anjane Asana here. Let the head fall heavy. Letting the front of the left leg open, kind of an opener for the right hip as well. Look forward. Take your hands to your blocks. Straighten the front foot. Tuck your back toes. Lift your back knee and press through the hands. So you're finding lots of space in this low lunge. Then look forward. Walk the blocks forward and come to supported warrior 3. Left leg lifts up. Breathe in and look forward. Breathe out. Left foot steps next to the right and just fold over the legs. Have a bend in the knees. Hands come down to the mat. Breathe in and look forward. Breathe out. Step your right foot back. Drop right knee down underneath the right hip and press your right hand down. Left foot steps all the way back towards the back of the mat. Left arm reaches up, supported side plank. Your right hand, right knee, right foot, all in line with the inner arch of your left foot. Breathing in, breathing out. On your next inhale, option to float your left leg. Don't have to. Yeah, a little bit more weight will come into the hand naturally. And then on your next exhale, bend your left knee, touch the foot behind the back. Kick the foot into the hands, open chest, look upwards. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out, release. Everything comes back to the mat. Inhale for plank pose. Exhale, look forward and lower all the way to the belly. Doing the same thing, starting with the left foot lifting. Make sure they have their underneath the armpits, elbows pull back. Activate the legs, the toes press down to the feet, legs reach long behind you. And just lift your shoulders away from the mat here, ready. Breathe in, lift the head and the chest, and your left heel comes towards the left seat. Use the hamstring. Breathing in. Breathing out and lower. Inhale, head and chest lift. Press a little through the hands. Right heel comes towards the right seat. Breathing in. Breathing out and lower. Inhale, hands and knees. Press up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Hips lift. Once again, pedal through the feet. Head falls heavy. Press through the hands. Lengthen side to the waist here. Yeah. And then walk the feet slowly towards the front of the mat. When you get to the top, take a half lift. Hands come to the chin. Look forward. Exhale, hands come to the waist. Heavy the tailbone. And then breathe in and rise to stand. Breathe out. Heel toe the feet together. Just kidding. Keep your feet a little bit separated for a moment here. Interlace the hands behind the back. Yeah, and then breathe in. Knuckles reach down towards the heels. Let the sternum bone float. Chin lifts. Exhale, soften the knees and fold over the legs. Hands reach up and over. Let that head fall heavy. Shake the head no, just really slowly. Keep this really chill. Yeah. And then breathe in, half lift, and come to stand all the way up. Release the hands, give yourself a hug. Right arm comes on top. And then release, hands come by the sides. Interlace the hands behind you, opposite interlacing, non-habitual way. Breathe in, knuckles reach down towards the heels. Legs are strong as the sternum floats, chin lift. Exhale, soften the knees and fold over the legs. Super slow and easy here. Let the head fall heavy. Hands reach up and over. Make some space between the heels of the hands. Yeah, so there's some space for the shoulder blades. Breathe in and bend the knees, arms reach back, and slowly stand all the way up. Release the fingers. Give yourself a hug, left arm on top. And release the arms to the sides. Now heel toe the feet together. Find that Tadasana, super strong standing posture. Feel the feet ground down onto the mat. The core is engaged or coming online, and the hands reach down to the sides. Find this posture at the base, and then just let the hands float up to touch in front of your heart center. Let the eyes close. Trust your body. And for our dedication for class, bringing to your awareness, where's like one iota, like the smallest amount of open, like where in your life can you be like one tiny bit more open? Or can you be one tiny bit more vulnerable? Or can you be one tiny bit more forgiving? Whether it's towards yourself or towards others. Knowing that these are three of many, but the three we're thinking about working with today, the three of many jewels that contribute to creating a fertile ground for change. Change in ourselves, which always translates to change in the world. It translates to change in our inner circles, in our closest relationships, and that trickles out and is a ripple effect. Everyone's rippling outward. So it's so important that the ripple, the thing that makes the ripple, us, the individual, is aligned. That we're looking at the ways that we can make our own selves like fertile ground for change before we try to go change the world. Even though we're naturally changing the world with every step, just wanting that ripple to be as effective and as aligned with like quote unquote like right action as possible. Flutter the eyes open and keep the hands by the side. Soften the knees, put the thumbs in front, reach up and look up. Now arch back a little bit here. Exhale, soften the knees, interlace the hands behind you and fold. Breathe in, sit hips low, arms reach up, chair pose. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, half lift, look forward. Exhale, left foot steps back, drop your left knee down. Inhale, hook thumbs, reach up, arch back. Exhale, hands come to the mat, right foot steps back, downward facing dog. Breathe in, roll to plank pose. Look forward, breathe out, lower the knees, arch the back, lower the chest and the chin. Untuck the toes, press through the chin, slide forward, cobra pose. Space for the collarbones, upper arm bones, reach back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Observe a cycle of breath here, in and out. Breathe in, lift your right leg. Breathe out, step the foot forward between the hands and drop your back knee down. Inhale, hook thumbs, reach up, arch back. Exhale, hands come forward, left foot steps forward and fold over the legs. Breathe in, sit hips low, arms up, chair pose. Exhale, arms swing behind you, interlace fingers and fold. Breathe in, arms reach up, hook thumbs in front, look up, arch back. Exhale, bend the knees, interlace fingers opposite way and fold. Breathe in, sit hips low, arms up, chair pose. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, right foot steps back, drop your right knee down. Inhale, hook thumbs, reach up, arch back, look up. Exhale, hands to the mat, lift your right knee and left foot steps back, downward face dog. Hips lift, yeah. Breathe into plank, look forward. Breathe out, lower the knees, arch the back, lower chest and chin. Untuck the toes, press your chins, come to baby cobra, elbows pull back, chest is lifted. Exhale, downward facing dog. Watch your breath. In and out. Breathe in, left leg lifts. Breathe out, step the foot forward, drop your back knee down. Inhale, hook thumbs, reach up, look up. Exhale, hands to the mat. Right foot steps forward next to the left and fold. Breathe in, sit hips low, arms reach up. Exhale, interlace fingers behind you, opposite grip or non-habitual grip. Fold over the legs. Breathe in, arms reach forward and up. Thumbs look up. Exhale, bend the knees, swing arms behind you, interlace the fingers and fold. Breathe in, sit hip low, arms up, chair. Exhale, fold over the legs. Breathe in, half lift. Breathe out, left foot steps back, drop your left knee down. Inhale, thumbs reach up, arch up. Exhale, hands to the mat. Right foot steps back, downward facing dog. Breathe and come to plank pose. Breathe out, look forward, lower halfway, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, chest lifts. Exhale, hips lift, downward facing dog. Watch your breath in and out. Breathe in, right leg lifts. Breathe out, step the foot forward and drop your back knee down. Inhale, thumbs reach up, look up. Exhale, hands to the mat, left foot steps forward next to the right and fold. Breathe in, sit hips low, arms up, chair pose. Exhale, swing arms behind you, interlace the fingers and fold. Breathe in, arms come in front, hook thumbs, stand all the way up, look up. Exhale, swing arms behind you, last round, interlace opposite grip and fold. Inhale, sit hips low, chair pose. Exhale, fold over the legs, your moon salutation, cycle to the moon. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, right foot steps back, drop your right knee down. Inhale, just try to float it as much as you can, lift up. Exhale, hands come down, left foot steps back, hips lift. Breathe in, plank pose, look forward. Breathe out, lower halfway. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, hips lift. Downward facing dog. Watch your breath in and out. Breathe in, left leg lifts. Breathe out, step the foot forward, between the hands, up knee, top down. Inhale, look up, reach up, look up. Exhale, hands to the mat. Lift your right knee, step your right foot forward and fold over the legs. Breathe in, sit hips low, arms up, chair pose. Exhale, interlace hands opposite way and fold. Breathe in, hook thumbs in front. Stand all the way up, look up. Exhale, pull the hands through center. And pause. Back to your breath. Come back to your dedication. How can you stay open? How can you stay vulnerable? How can you forgive a little bit more? Let the eyes open if they were closed. Feel through the feet together. Legs pull together, lift the heels. Find something to look at in front of you and start to bend your knees. Keep the torso lifted like you're sliding down the wall. Down the elevator. Knees go wide at the bottom. Keep the hands to the mat. And walk the hands forward. As the hands walk forward, the heels sink down towards the floor. The hips sink down towards the floor. Malasana Yogi squat. Head can fall heavy. Yeah, keep the toes pressing down into the mat and just let the knees move in opposite directions from there. And then walk the hands underneath your shoulders, lift the hips and step back. Downward facing dog. Breathe in and lift your right leg up. Breathe out, step the foot forward between the hands and spin your back heel down. Inhale, arms reach to the sides and up, warrior one. Exhale, cactus the arms. Breathe in, reach the arms back up. Exhale, to the side and down, interlace the fingers behind you. Breathe in, slide the thumbs and the knuckles down the inner seam of your left leg. Let that lift the chest and the chin. On your exhale, soften your front knee even more as you press into the outer edge of the left foot. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Inhale, come back to neutral, hands come to the center. Exhale, torso comes forward, lift your back heel. Warrior three, just a transition. Lift your left leg up, arrive, and then step your left foot down next to your right. Hug the right knee to the chest. Open the knee to the side and set up for tree pose, Vrikshasana. Gather hands in front of your heart center and find something to look at. When you feel steady, Arms can reach up and overhead. So press your left leg back into the bottom or the sole of your right foot. Stay with your breath. Stay with your focused gaze. The foot presses back into the leg. With a really strong connection between the left inner thigh and the bottom of the right foot. Yeah. Hands come to the waist, take your right knee forward, extend the leg long, and just step the foot down. Breathe in, arms reach up. Breathe out, fold over the legs. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step your left foot way back and spin your heel down. Grab block and place it on the medium setting or the highest outside your right ankle. So it's a little bit further back than the toe. Inhale to straighten the right leg. Right hand presses into the block. Breathe out, peel the left arm up. See if you can find one long line from the right wrist all the way to the left wrist. Triangle pose. Find length in the underside of the body. Soften your front ribs. Think about your back ribs reaching up towards the back of your head. Yeah. And then take your left arm up and over the ear. Bend at the elbow and take the hand to the nape of the neck. Pull the arm in towards the face and then turn the sternum up towards the ceiling. So you've got a nice solid support of the head and the neck with the hand. Keep knitting the ribs together and turn. Yeah. Triangle pose. And then release the arm long. Breathe in. Breathe out. Soften your right knee and bring your left hand back to the mat. Find a low lunge. Inhale the plank pose. Right foot steps back. Big toes touch. Turn to the outer edge of your left foot. Stack the feet. Side plank. Right arm reaches up. Soften your left elbow just a bit here. Keep lifting the hips. Breathe in. Breathe out. Hand comes to the mat. Inhale, look forward for plank. Exhale, lower halfway. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step the foot forward and spin your back heel down. Breathe in, arms reach to the sides and up, warrior one. Exhale, just cactus the arms, bend the elbows. Breathe in, arms reach up. Breathe out, arms reach to the sides and down, interlace the fingers opposite way. Breathe in, slide the knuckles down the inner edge of your right leg. As the chest lifts, the chin will lift as well. Exhale, bend more into the left knee. And keep pressing the outer edge of your back foot down. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Inhale, come back to neutral. Hands release and come to the heart. Exhale, torso forward, lift your back heel. Warrior three, right leg floats up, arrive. And then just step the foot down. Just a transition. Step through the right foot and lift your left knee to the chest. Open the knee to the side and set it for tree pose. Find that contact point so the inner right thigh firms as the left foot presses into the leg. Gather hands to the heart center. Find something to look at. Feel really strong in your base before you lift your arms up on the inhale. And then stay. Notice the length and the size of the body, the side trunk, the torso. Keep pressing the big toe mound on your right foot. And then hands come to the waist. Carry the left knee forward, extend the leg long, and step the foot down. Breathe in, arms reach up, look up. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, right foot steps all the way back behind you. Spin your right heel down. Block comes outside the left ankle. Straighten your left leg, left hand comes to the left block. Exhale, right arm reaches up. See if you can find one long line between left wrist and right wrist. Triangle pose, find a lot of length in this underside. So if you're deepening the left armpit, finding space between the armpit and the hip point. Yeah. Soften your front ribs and keep reaching your back ribs up towards the head. Carry your right arm up and over the ear and then bend the elbow, take the hand to the nape of the neck. Pull the elbow in towards the face. And then once you're here, you have the neck, turn this whole kind of section here of the sternum, the head, the neck, up towards the ceiling. A little bit of an open twist. Keep pressing the outer edge of your back foot down. Keep contact with the left big toe to the floor. Breathing in. Breathing out. Inhale to release the arm long. Exhale, take the hands in the mat. Soften your left knee. Find a low lunge. Breathe in and step to plank pose. Bring your big toes to touch. Breathe out. Turn to the outer edge of your right foot. Left arm reaches up. Soften your left or your right elbow. Breathing in. Breathing out. Hands to the mat. Inhale to look forward. Exhale, strong legs, chaturanga, and then lower all the way to the mat. Untuck the toes, legs pull together. Lift yourself up to Sphinx pose. Forearms come to the mat. Try putting the elbows underneath the shoulders. If this is too much crunch in the low back, just walk the hands forward. But try to keep the forearms really parallel to start. So they should look like railroad tracks. Equal space between each finger and the lower arm bones. From here, take your right hand towards your left hand. It's going to just come to a diagonal across the mat. Use your left hand to pull the left heel towards the feet. Reach your left hand down. Whole torso turns to the left to catch the foot. Some of us can pull the heel a little bit closer to the outer left hip and turn our fingers, or swivel our fingers forward. Elbow points up towards the ceiling. Yeah. And then turn your sternum and your chest towards the front of the mat. Try not to sink into this right elbow, but press through the right forearm. And if this is too much on the low back, you just shift the forearm forward and inhale. Breathing in. Breathing out. Turn your whole torso back to the left to release the foot. Yeah, no strain in the knee. And then turn back to center and find Sphinx pose, parallel forearms again. Set up yourself to find a little bit of neutrality or center again in this spot. And comes over towards the right. Use your right hamstring to pull the right heel towards the seat. Press through the left forearm. Turn yourself all the way to the right and then catch the foot. Once you have the foot, stay looking to the right as you pull the heel to that outer right hip. Maybe the fingers swivel forward and the elbow points up to the ceiling. Only here do you turn the sternum back to front. Keep pressing through the top of the left foot and through the left forearm. Yeah, no sinking into the shoulder. If it's too much on the low back, just shift the forearm forward. Yeah. Breathing in. Breathing out. Turn your whole torso to the right and then release the leg. Come back to center. Find Sphinx pose, parallel forearms, equal distance between both bones. And then take the elbows wide and make a little flow with the hands. Right hand comes on top, forehead comes to the mat. Let the heels splay out for a moment and just let the back relax. Very nice. And then slide the hands underneath the armpits. Press the hands and knees. And find downward facing dog. Breathe in to lift your right leg. Breathe out, step the foot forward between the hands. This time, pop your back knee down. And untuck the toe, yeah. And breathe in, reach the arms to the side and up. Breathe out, cactus the arms. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, take the hands to the nape of the neck. Pull the elbows towards the face. And then breathe in to lift the elbows up towards the ceiling. Sink the hips low. There's a little bit of a tone in the belly or scooping out of the low belly. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Inhale, come back to neutral. Release the hands. Exhale, and bring the hands to the mat. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee. Yeah, find some space here in your low lunge. If you need the hands on blocks, if they don't reach, go ahead and do that. And then bring your right hand inside your right foot and heel to that right foot, over to the right. You can turn the toe out a little bit as well. Lift the seat up a bit to step the left foot forward outside the left hand and then sit both hips back low again. Yogi squat, Malasana. Hands press in front of the heart and then move the elbows in opposite directions. Yeah, find some broadness across the sternum, like the collarbones here. Breathing in. Breathing out. Press through the feet. We're coming all the way up to stand. Arms reach all the way up and overhead. Look up. Exhale, step the feet together and find Tadasana. Press through the left foot. Use your right hamstring to pull the heel towards the seat. Right hand reaches back and catches the inner edge of your right foot. Left arm reaches up. Pull your knees towards one another. Inner thighs come towards one another. Yeah. Breathe in here. And breathe out. On your next inhale, begin to kick the right foot into the right hand. We're finding dancer's pose. We're going to take like 50 to 65% in our dancer's pose. So not your full out version. But we are going to find a dancer's pose and we're going to stay in this halfway point. Focus the gaze. Focus on the balance. A little back bend here. One more cycle, in and out. Come back to neutral. Release the right foot down. Hands come to touch in front of the heart, and then release them down, playing Tadasana. Transfer your weight to the right leg. Hands come back to touch in front of your heart. And then as your torso reaches forward, left heel reaches back behind you. We're finding warrior three as a transition. Arms reach forward. Soften your right knee and place your hands down to the mat. Find a low lunge. From here, spin your back heel down. Take your block to the second or lowest setting right outside the right foot. Right hand presses into the block. Breathe in. Breathe out. Left arm reaches up and over the ears. Side angle A. So nice long line on the left side of the body. See if you can make your right quad or thigh bone parallel with the floor. Keep turning the chest up to the ceiling. Soften your front ribs. Back ribs reach up towards the back of the neck as you turn your chest up towards the ceiling. Keep pressing a lot into the outer edge of the back foot. Breathing in. Breathing out. Hand comes to the mat. Flip up your back heel. Move the block to the side. Step to plank pose. Big toes touch. Breathe out, turn to the outer edge of the left foot, right arm reaches up. Float your top leg, bend the knee and tap the toe behind you. Inhale to lift the hips up, rock star pose, right arm reaches up and overhead. Exhale, breathe in, breathe out, come to plank pose. Inhale to look forward, exhale, strong legs, lower halfway. Breathe in, upward facing dog. Breathe out, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step the foot forward, drop your back knee, untuck the toes. Arms reach to the sides and up. Exhale, cactus the arms. Breathe in, arms reach up. Breathe out, bend the elbows, take the hands to the nape of the neck. Pull the elbows in towards the head, and then reach the elbows up. Breathe and sink the hips down, back bend here, little tone in the belly. Keep watching the breath, breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale, come back to neutral. Exhale, hands come to the mat to frame the front foot. Tuck right toes, lift the right knee. Left hand comes inside the left foot. Heel to the left, foot to the left, and turn the toes out. Lift the hips up a little bit and step the right foot forward outside the right hand. Both hips lower, yogi squat malasana. Hands come to touch in front of the heart. Round two, just press the elbows into the knees. Find some space for the lungs and heart. Breathing in. Breathing out. Inhale, press down through the feet. Lift yourself up. Look up and see the hands. Exhale, Tadasana, hands come. By the side, step the feet together. Press through the right foot. And use your left hamstring to pull the heel towards the seat. Reach back with your left hand against the inner edge of the foot. Right arm reaches up by the ear. Just take a breath here. Find something to look at. On the next exhale, left foot into left hand. And find like a 50 to 65% dancer's pose. So you can tip forward a little bit. Make it like an easy, kind of an easy dancer's pose, yeah. And then release your left foot down to the mat. Step into the left foot. Hands come to touch in front of the heart. And then flex your right foot. Begin to tip forward and reach your right heel back behind you. Reach the arms long. You might soften the left knee here. And then soften the left knee a lot. Hands come to the mat. And step your right foot back behind you. You're back in a low lunge. Spin your back heel down. Take a block on the lowest or medium setting outside left foot. Breathe in. And then breathe out. Reach your right arm up and over the ear. Keep pulling that left hip up and underneath you. Big long line on the right side of the body. Keep finding length on the left side of the body as well. Gaze can come up and underneath the armpit. Breathing, side ankle A. Large Vinyasa. Breathing out. Inhale here. Exhale, circle the hand to the mat. Flip up your right heel. Breathe in, step to plank pose. Big toes touch. With that, turn to the outer edge of your right foot. Left arm reaches up. From here, float your top leg. Bend the knee and tap the toe behind you. Rock star pose. Lift the hips. Left hand reaches up and overhead. Breathe in. Breathe out. Come back to plank pose. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, lower halfway. And then lower to the belly. Very nice. Good. From here, bend both knees. Reach back and touch that outer edge of either foot. Just take a breath here and feel the upper arm bones where they connect to the shoulders lift up and away from the mat. So go ahead and start that here. Breathe and lift the head, the chest, the feet into the hands. Find like 50% bow. And take your attention to the low belly and the low ribs. That's where you're going to balance from. Keep the feet even more into the hands. Allow the sternum to lift. And then maybe activate the hamstrings a little bit. You can flex the feet if available. You can lower your hands to the ankles. And pull the knees towards one another. Pull the heels up and higher. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. And lower to the belly. Hands come underneath the armpits once again. Legs come really long behind you. Breathe in, press through the hands. We're coming to a more like an actual cobra, not a baby, a mama cobra, if you will. So lift the head, the chest, a little bit more of the ribs up off the mat. I like to keep a little softness in my elbows so that I'm not just resting in the straightening of the elbows, and I'm still kind of making sure it's okay for my low back. You have an option here to bend both knees, and then maybe the chin lifts. Use the hamstrings to pull the toes towards the head, and then lower. Make a pillow with the hands. Left hand comes on top, forehead comes to the mat. Let the heels splay out. Let the back relax. And take the hand underneath the armpits, press the hands and knees, and come to stand up on the knees. Take a block on the lower spine setting and place it between the ankles or the feet. Tuck the toes. Take the hands to the low back here. Engage the belly a little bit. We want to find this position in our pelvis where the butt sticks back enough so that there's softness in the groin. We're not doing this like thing, like we're pushing the pelvis totally forward. But we also want to protect the low back. So if we stick the butt out too far, we get like a really crazy, we only rely on the curve of the low back and the back bend. So we have to find somewhere in the middle. So there's a softness of the groin, a little bit of the butt sticking back. And so we keep the lumbar curve. But there's an engagement or a wrapping of the core muscles around the torso to protect the low back too. So I know that's a lot. Do what you can, do your best. Hands come to the low back. Fingertips point down towards the floor. Go ahead and tuck your toes to start. Knees are just under the hips. Pull the elbows back towards one another. Feel that slight wrapping and engagement of the core to protect the low back. Feel the butt sticking back just a little bit, and then lift the chest out of this and the sternum. The chin lifts as well. So you can stay here in this baby Ustrasana or baby camel pose, or you can walk the hands to the hamstrings. Yeah, keep rolling the upper arm bones towards your spine, towards the back. Yeah, then maybe you reach back to the ankles, keep lifting the sternum up, look up at the ceiling. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathing in. Breathing out. To come out of this, use the belly and firm the outer hips towards one another. You can squeeze the block with the feet against the heart. Untuck toes. Sit the hips back on your block. Hands to the lap and just let the eyes close. Yeah, just let the body release. Let the breath come back to the body. Let the spine come back to its kind of neutral or natural curve. And as the sensation starts to subside within the body, you'll notice the breath even more. I love this quote from Brene Brown's book, Daring to Lead. The Dare to Lead. Give me the courage to show up and be seen. So as the body settles down, can you allow some space to actually see yourself? It's one thing to be seen by others, but it's actually quite vulnerable in my opinion this to look in, to look like truly at ourselves, because ultimately we have to look our own flaws in the face, and we even have to look our own magnificence right in the face, and that in itself can scare us, and we will probably go between this place of like, wow, like feeling magnificent, and then wondering like if I have the right to feel that, or who am I to be that bright, or who am I to be that magnificent? That's not my place, etc., etc. And that in itself is quite vulnerable to do. So all I'm asking here is, as you follow your own breath, can you look at the truth of yourself? Can you see yourself for what you really are? Feel the hands on the lap again, and let the eyes open. Come forward off your block, and you're going to make your way back down onto your belly. A little bit more back bending work before we completely wind down. So come to your belly, and reach your hands behind you, palms face down. Pull your inner legs together. And then bring them with the head, the chest, and the feet. Press your hands down into the mat. Look forward a little bit, not too far, but you're cranking the neck. But just a little forward. Tadasana, locust pose. Think about finding more length from the crown of the head through the toes, more than like lifting really high. On the next exhale, just lower. Take a moment and then reach one arm above your head and roll over onto your back. As we're rolling to the back, go ahead and grab both blocks and place them midway down the mat so they're easily accessible. Arms come long by the sides. And the feet are going to stay on the mat. They're going to be about hip width distance. So each of your fingers should be able to kind of raise the back of the heels. Breathe and press through the feet. Lift the hips up any amount and interlace the hands underneath you. If it's available, roll each shoulder underneath the back and then press your wrists down to the mat and your forearms. The chest will reach towards the chin, and then the chin will lift a little bit away. Pull the heels back towards your shoulder blades. Yeah, just a little isometric movement, a little bit of engagement of the hamstrings again here. And then release the hands, unwind the shoulders, or release the shoulders, and lower the sacrum back down to the mat. Just keep the feet on the mat for now. The hands can come to the low belly if that's comforting or soothing here. You can take the hands to the thigh bones, the tops of the thighs, and press them gently away. And then another round here. Lift the hips up any amount. Interlace the fingers opposite way, so non-habitual interlacing. Roll either shoulder underneath the back, and then press your wrist down and your forearms. The chest reaches for the chin, and then the chin reaches away from the chest. So we're keeping that curve in the cervical spine or the back of the neck. We want to be able to slide a hand underneath there. We're not going to try right now. We're going to keep our neck still, but if you were to do that, there would be space there. So we don't want to flatten out the neck. And pull the heels back towards the elbows or the shoulders, the shoulder blades. Yeah, so there's a little bit of an activation, kind of like the lower part of your butt. Release the fingers, unroll either shoulder, and just lower the sacrum back to the mat. And then take your hands to your low belly. For a moment, take the elbows a little bit wider and slide the hands underneath your low back. So there should be that space here as well. So there's a little space underneath the low back, a little space underneath the neck. Keeping those nice curves in the spine as we kind of rest in this neutral position. From here, we're going to do two wheel poses. Or I'm going to lead us through two wheels. So full back bend, Tadasana. If wheel isn't in your practice or you're not wanting to do wheel today for any reason, that's totally fine. And you can either take 2 more bridges, or you can take a supported bridge, a block on the lowest flat setting underneath your sacrum. That's option kind of like 1 and 2. The third option is to put to lift the hips a little bit higher, maybe like a block, 2 blocks on the lowest flat setting, one on top of the other, underneath the sacrum. And then if it's in your practice and you're familiar with how to do this, you could take half Virasana on either leg. So do the right leg and the left leg. Maybe the right leg on our first back bend and the left leg on the second back bend. So the top of the foot will come to the mat outside of the block. And we'll get like a really nice opening in the front of the legs. So make your decision. And I'm going to talk us through the wheel. Otherwise, you're on your own to guide yourself through the other options. Take your hands by your ears, fingertips face towards the shoulders. And then again, if it's in your practice to press to the crown of the head first and then lift up, you can go ahead and do that if it feels like safe for you. I don't necessarily teach that way specifically, so I'm going to teach pushing all the way up in one go. I just find that it strains my neck to stop and kind of like readjust, and it's like more precarious. So we're going to rely on the arms and the legs to lift us. Take a little breath in and really start to burn the hands into the mat as well as the feet. And then on your next inhale, press through the feet with the hands and lift yourself all the way up, lift that head and be heavy here. You have to look down with the hands, just let the head hang. And then press through the hands, pull the knees towards one another, and then press the sternum bone towards the heels of the hands in the front of your mat. And breathe. So finding that curve in the low back, but also length in the low back, like a balance of the two, softening in the groin and the front of the hips. After your next exhale, tuck the chin and bend the elbows and the knees, come back to your back. Keep the feet on the mat, please. If you're in bridge pose, you'll come down. Also keep feet on the mat. If you're doing supported bridge on the blocks, just release, like if you took the half Virasana, release that for now, just hand in the middle. And in just a moment, we'll take another one. So readjust your feet. Hands come to the shoulder, or by the shoulders, fingertips, excuse me, the hands come by the ears, fingertips face towards the shoulders. Take a normal breath in and use this first breath to firm the feet in the hands. And then inhale, press up, full wheel. Or your variation, keep pressing the sternum forward towards the front of the back. Knees pull towards one another. Stay with your breath. 2 more cycles here. In and out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Tuck the chin, bend the elbows and the knees. Lower yourself to the mat. And separate the feet a little bit wider than the hips, let the knees rock in. Feet stay on the mat. Hands come to the low belly. The eyes can close here. You're doing the same constructive rest if you just took 2 additional bridges. If you're on in supported bridge, you're going to lower yourself to 1 block and then lower the sacrum all the way to the mat and take this as well. You can take the elbows wide and check that you have that space underneath the low back. Keeping the lumbar curve, just letting the spine come back to its neutral position. Go ahead now and cross the arms over the chest, right arm comes over the left. Notice your breath. Switch the arms, left arm comes on top, giving yourself another hold here. And then take the arms in a big T. Nice wide T, and heel to the feet back to hip distance. Start really small and just windshield wiper the knees a few times. Side to side. And then come back to center. Bring your bring your left knee in towards the chest with your left ankle over the right knee. Let both knees fall to the left. And then catch opposite elbows above the head. Come back to center. Make sure your right foot is in line with the right hip. And then release the left ankle. Pull your right knee towards your chest to the leg. And hook the ankle over the left knee. Let both knees fall over to the right. And then just put the opposite forearm on top of the head. Stay with your breath. Let the heart rate slow down a little bit. Lift the knees back to center. Move that or the left foot in line with the left hip, and then release the right foot. From here, hug the knees into the chest. Use the arms to pull the knees towards the cage. And then you'll find a happy baby. So you can catch behind the knees, at the calves, the shins, the ankles, or the outer feet. Try to find a 90-degree angle in the legs. And then you can rock side to side if that feels okay. Giving the back a little bit of a massage here. If it doesn't feel right to sway side to side, just kind of stay still and chill in the middle. Release the feet. We're going to give the knees another squeeze into the chest. This time, see if we can wrap the arms a little bit more around the legs. This time, lift the head and the shoulders up so that the eye sockets come towards the knees. Notice a few breaths here. So as you inhale, notice how the air that comes into your body fills up the space between the legs and the belly. And then there's more space on the exhale. One more cycle here. Breathing in. Noticing the tension or compression. On your exhale, everything releases. Come to lay down in Tadasana. So the legs come super long. Let the feet kind of splay out here. Arms come by the sides, palms face up. And the legs be completely free. And the contents of the pelvis become really heavy and be completely held. If you need to move the body flesh down towards your heels, you can do that. Just if you feel like you have like a really big back bend in the low back, you just came from that huggy knee position. Go ahead and adjust if you need. And the collarbones spread even wider. And the upper arm bones relax down towards the floor. And allow the body to shift from activity to stillness. And you would be okay with that change. This change from movement, muscular engagement, coordination, to total relaxation, to disengagement, to non-movement. Are our minds open enough, vulnerable enough, forgiving enough to allow for this change? Coming to this place of a bit of the unknown of stillness, the unknown of quietness. what it'll feel like to completely surrender. Without changing it at all, just bring your attention back to your breath. Bring movement to your fingers and your toes. And then bend the knees, and when the soles of the feet come out, get the arms up and overhead. And let the knees fall to the right side and just find a pillow with the arms. Let the eyes be heavy, the eyelids be heavy, the eyes stay closed. Press down to the left hand and lift yourself up to a seat. This time take your opposite shin in front. So the non-habitual seated position. Hands come to rest on the tops of the thighs. And just feel the hips grounding down into the mat. Feel the sides of the waist be long. Crown the head reaches up towards the ceiling. Vulnerability isn't good or bad. It's not what we call a dark emotion, nor is it always a light, positive experience. Vulnerability is the core of all emotions and feelings. To feel is to be vulnerable. To believe vulnerability is weakness is to believe that feeling is weakness. To foreclose on our emotional life out of fear that the cost will be too high is to walk away from the very thing that gives purpose and meaning to living. Sitting with that for just a moment. How often are we walking away from the things that give purpose and meaning to live? How can we use vulnerability, the acceptance of vulnerability, for the allowance of change in ourselves and in the broader world too? Gather the hands towards your heart center. With that gathering, gather everything from the last hour, everything that you gained and lost. And then carry that to the third eye, or your space between the eyebrows, our center of intuition. And in a little bit of a way, just let that go. Just know that from an intuitive place, our bodies, our minds, our souls, or whatever you believe, will integrate all of the work that you've just done without really much effort and effort at all. This idea of applying the effort and letting go of the result. As you kind of let go of this result, you can release the hands back down to your heart center and a little bow in the head. Chin comes towards the heart. The head bows to the heart. Namaste. Namaste. I hope you have a wonderful Tuesday evening. Just giving myself back. Just my head here. I'll put it down. Thanks for being here. Next class is on Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. And we also have a class this week on Sunday at 9 a.m. Sunday soul service. Much of what we did today with, a little bit less intensity. So we probably won't do like those wheels and stuff. We'll do more restorative and yin stuff at the end. I want to keep doing these classes, and it asks me so much when you can donate. And I'm asking for a minimum donation of $10. If you can give more, that's fantastic. And you can find me on Venmo or PayPal. My info is in the comments. So have a wonderful evening, and I will see you soon. Thanks, everybody. See you next time. Thanks, Aaron.